The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Saban Entertainment, and Subaraya Productions.
Hi everybody, welcome to Tokucast.
God damn it. I wasn't ready for that.
Should we start over?
I forgot about it. No. Keep
You
it
already
the same.
forgot?
Anyway. Hi everybody, we're doing another review.
Dekaranger Month.
Dekranger
Hey!
Month still ongoing. Woo!
Part 3.
Dekaranger.
Part 3. We have one more part after this to finish off Dekaranger Month before we move on to the next thing. Here is the last part of the schedule. Last part. Finale. Mente. Alright. So this week we are doing the Dekaranger movie Full Blast Action, or FBA, Dekaranger vs. Abaranger, and the 10 years after special.
So we have a nice balance of good, bad, and
Best. Oh.
depending on who you're talking to. Let's get into this. We're starting with...
going in weird order. Let's go ahead and start with Full Blast Action.
Yep.
Movie is not bad.
It's alright.
I didn't like it that much.
It was okay. It's
Well,
just
what was wrong with it?
What was wrong with it was the story.
the story did feel a little.
The story.
Yeah.
I am noticing this a lot with standalone Sentai movies. They're a little bit too short.
They're basically just an extended
And
episode.
they're 10 minutes longer. They have a little bit of a higher budget. The story never develops enough, and the story is never that good.
And they're always tied into the Kamen Rider movie of that year. This one, it was missing Ace. So it's just like they're
They're not really tied into it, but they're released at the
Well,
same.
yeah, they're on the same.
It's double featured because you would watch, you go to the theater, you watch this one, it's like 40 minutes, and then you go watch the Kamen Rider movie, which is a more traditional, like, hour and a half.
Yeah. I mean, it's not good. We do end up getting our, to finish out the Deca part of Dekaranger, we get our 10th one for the 3 seconds that she is in this before she's like, I'm transforming into Deca Gold, and it's gone. Okay. So that's basically her. Yeah. I mean, I like the way that it starts out, basically just a whole planet is getting destroyed. I love the premise of it, where it's like this.
The opening segment I really liked.
It's creepy.
It was really good.
It's like the dust just comes down and they get transformed into basically just a robot. So it sort of reminds me of like some weird Doctor Who type thing.
Yeah.
But I like the premise enough. But yeah, it's just
Copyright.
And I see a lot of them end up starting off sort of similar, like when you first see the actual members of the team where they're already transformed fighting something, and that's no different for this one.
Also, the Sixth Ranger tends to leave for most of the movie.
That bothers me a lot. It's like you're a part of the team.
Fire buddy!
Yeah, I understand.
They're not a part of the team enough yet, I guess, to be important at this point.
He's been on here for like 80 episodes. And it still ends up.
It was the same thing with Gokai Silver in the Gokaiger movie. He
Yeah.
only shows up until the very, very end, but you only see him in suit. He's never unmoored.
That's always the thing with Sentai movies, and I don't like that. Because it's like you're supposed to be a part of this team.
I think one of the few times I don't remember this happening was the Kyoryuger movie.
Because there are a shit ton of them.
Yeah, but I remember, but like Uchi, the Sixth Ranger, he was there for most of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is...
we wanted to mention this. There are a lot of returning actors in this movie. The lady who plays the female villain is Gata, and Professor Mazinda from Direkranger.
Is that who it was?
Yeah. This is her last time.
Really?
Oh.
This is the last time that she's in anything Toku related, as far as I know.
Huh.
The guy who ends up playing the main villain is Junior from Dekaranger. He looks almost the exact same. A couple of other returning actors. I swear,
son of a gun, that is her.
Some of the people that they question. Two of them are Furabiju and Windinu from Hurricaneger.
Oh boy.
And I swear, because I don't really remember, it's not anywhere that I can find it. It's the two people that are at the Odin stand or the Onigiri stand.
Oh yeah, the ramen stand.
The ramen stand, yeah, that's what it was. I swear those are other two returning actors in this movie.
They're only in there for like a split second.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't recognize
You don't
their
really get a
faces.
good look at them.
It's like Windinu and Furabiju are distinctive enough, but I couldn't recognize
I didn't notice
those
them.
two. Yeah. I was like, I had to go back and watch
it.
It
Might have been because I hated their actresses so much in that show, so I didn't bother to notice. But
I mean, the story is still good enough in this movie, though. Like Marie had to basically betray the Dekrangers to see what she can do to save her planet, because her planet's the one that gets attacked at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's still a good enough movie. I sort of do recommend it because you're right. It doesn't do enough to really flesh out the story as much as we would want it to, but it does enough to encapsulate it, so it doesn't feel like it has to just keep going or there was a lot missing.
It's a little weird though, because 40-minute movies in Japan, that's a normal thing.
Yeah.
You would go see like a 40 or 50 minute anime movie or a toku movie in a theater, and that would be normal.
Yeah.
So it's something we're not really used to over here. But would I recommend this movie?
I mean, I don't not recommend it. It's just like I'm not going to go out of my way to go watch Full Blast Action and see them get this exclusive mech piece.
If you're a fan of Dekaranger and it's a lazy afternoon, you got nothing else to do, sure, throw it on.
I did like the robot.
It's not going to ruin your afternoon.
Like where they get the attachment from that buggy, and like it's the giant shield and giant gun that they use to just like shoot her. I thought that scene was sort of cool. There's a lot of CGI, but it was okay. I didn't mind it.
That's the movie. You got a higher budget.
Yeah. But, from what we got, it's still not a bad movie. It's good to see a lot of these returning actors coming back, even if it's just for this. I still enjoyed them.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're good enough and distinctive enough. The only thing I wish is that Gara's actress actually did more. She had, like, one line. Or, like, one or two lines throughout this entire thing. And then she only really showed up once. But you have to see Junior a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's good to see, like, older actors and actresses end up showing up for future shows.
Yeah.
Like I do love it when that happens.
Yeah.
It's always nice to see people come back.
It's interesting enough that I, like that when it happens. And that's why I like team-ups a lot. Speaking of team-ups, let's go ahead and move on to
the next one.
The Dekaranger and Abaranger movie. I don't like this.
I really liked this one.
I
did not. I didn't love it, but I liked it.
It was just like... everything just happened so fast.
Is it sad I kind of like the team up in the Power Rangers version a little more?
No, I don't blame you.
I wouldn't say it's...
Well, outside of side explosions.
Cal explosions.
Cal explosions.
But yeah, it's just like the Dekarangers come out, the Abarangers are over there shooting stuff, and they don't tell you exactly why they're shooting stuff, and apparently...
They arrest them.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. I love that.
It does happen very, very fast, but the pace didn't really bother me because it was over really quickly.
It just felt like I had no time to breathe throughout this movie.
That is a good point. The movie, everything is just like boom, 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 boom. It's very, very fast paced.
It sort of reminds like the first couple episodes of Build, where everything just happens, and you don't really end up getting a lot of time to breathe. There are like a couple of things I liked. I liked the scene where they're in the jail cell and Jasmine
she uses her Esper powers and she does the Abaranger dance.
It's like it's always playing in his head.
And they're like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I don't know."
It's playing in his head. I don't know what's happening.
Abaranger.
It's just like there are a lot of things that end up happening in this movie, and like because. It seems like the entire point of this team up, let's get to that final fight as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Because that's the highlight of the whole movie.
Yeah, I mean, like...
The main villain, he wants to summon the strongest warrior from hell. We have talked about this scene many times in previous videos, but the main villain, he wants to summon the strongest warrior from hell. I will do this and I will take over the world. He does,
and it's
Abaranger Killer, not who he was expecting.
Which is the best part of this entire thing. Is like, I was expecting the strongest warrior in hell, and Abaranger just goes, "You got what you wanted."
I was supposed to summon the strongest warrior from hell. You did. It was me.
And you are fucked.
And, the main villain could transform into other things. Hurricane Red shows up randomly and just attacks them. I love that when that happens, because, the main villain ends up turning into him, but he jumps in and the theme song starts playing. And I'm just like...
Sanjo.
It's fun, though. Like, the movie isn't bad, but I'm not going to recommend it, if only because it just feels like there isn't a lot of time for anything to really be done. So everything just feels like it's moving too quickly, and I just don't appreciate that at all. This is because I'm used to, if you're going to do a team up, don't do like some cliche thing where, some random portal comes out of nowhere, or like something like that happened looking at you, the first Avengers movie. Portal! Second Avengers
That's
movie.
A lot of superhero movies these days. Sky beams!
Yeah.
It's just, they're worse, but they're better. I think one of the worst ones is honestly the Abaranger Cockroach one, but that just happens. But yeah, it's not a bad movie. We will mention this because I completely forgot to mention it in the previous thing. From Full Blast Action, apparently Bond still has a thing going on with Mari, and I only say that because it's in the Maji Ranger special.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing, like. The team-up movies take place in a separate universe that the Gokaijers are based in. Like, that's where we get the whole Gokaiger, like, all the team-ups are actually together. Because you gotta remember, if you're fighting, like, some giant thing that wants to destroy the world, the other Sentai team is going to end up helping.
Mm-hmm.
And, they were actually in that same universe. But apparently the Versus movies take place in the same place that Gokaiger does. And apparently Zooder as well, to some extent. And... then we end up getting, the actual stories of completely separate thing. That's sort of how they work the parallel universes. And there's literally some whole thing with Decade trying to combine.
It's always Decade.
It's literally his fault this time.
It's always Decade, isn't it?
Yeah, Honore Decade.
Okay, in the final Heisei movie, I just want the Flash to show up, go backwards in time, and just like reset everything, and that's how we get the next era.
That'd be great.
Because I feel like, or Dr. Manhattan,
in this case.
or Dr. Manhattan just like snaps his fingers and everything just changes.
But yeah, the Dekaranger.
Because I feel like that's the only way that they can write themselves out of that at this point.
Dekaranger isn't bad, but it's just like
I would recommend it.
I wouldn't. It's.
But moving on.
Moving on to the best part of this trilogy that we're doing.
The 10 years after special.
This movie is great.
I like this one.
I love this movie.
It was pretty goddamn great.
It's just like, it's good to, see them all coming back after 10 years. By this point, it's 2015.
I mean, it's not 10 years for us because we just watched the show. But.
Yeah. But, 10 years from show to this, it's good. And apparently, Doggy's a criminal, but somebody's, posing as him, and just apparently is one of the higher-ups in
the
Decker
SPD. Control
that's, doing a whole bunch of drugs, drug deals and everything with criminals. It's all very interesting to watch. And I like, it's sort of like only about 50 minutes, 40 minutes or so.
This one feels like an appropriate length, though.
Yeah, this one feels like a lot better than the Full Blast action movie did.
Yes. It feels like a more complete movie.
Yeah, and I love Bond in this movie.
Bond is great. He's like chilled the frag out since then.
Him as Fire Squad, he's sort of the same, but he has like a much more controlled.
He's more mature.
A much more controlled cockiness.
Yeah.
In this one, and I like that. It's good to see Hoji like I'm sort of working undercover, but at the same time not, because he's reviewing the footage over and over again of Doggy cutting down people and things like that. And I love the use of Mirage Dimension. They tend to use that a lot more after the show. Mirage Dimension ends up showing up in this, Girls in Trouble, and the Gavin movie. Mm-hmm. And they use it quite a bit post-show, and I like that. It's something that they don't forget about, with the only mention once or twice in the show. But yeah, 2 new members of Earth Station, Assam and Mugi. Speaking of which, the guy who plays Assam, and I'm so happy I could bring this up now. The guy who plays Assam is the main kid from Hibiki, which is what we're reviewing next. So, good old lead-in right there. Mm-hmm. And they're working for the bad guy, and they end up getting absorbed at the end of the movie. That was creepy. Mm. I don't do well with absorption. It looks weird. But it's all just really, really a good movie. Good to see them back. Sinchan and Umiko.
They're dating. Jasmine's gotten married.
Yeah, Jasmine got married to the kid that we forgot to mention.
I thought that was kind of creepy, though.
He's 10 years younger than her.
Exactly. That's why I think it's a little creepy. They met for the first time when he was 10 and
he left, went to become an actual member of Deca.
Yeah.
And then
he joined up because the narrator says because they're both espers, they were drawn to each other, and which I mean, hey, I guess that makes sense.
I mean, he came back after a while, so it's not immediate.
I know it's not immediate, but it's still kind of I met you when you were 10.
Also, same actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
same actor.
It's
been 10 years, so the guy is 20, 22 now.
Yeah,
so
it's not something you expect.
Yeah.
So it's just especially when he's a kid in the original, you really don't expect the same person to come back. Mm-hmm. But I like that. And I love the whole thing where Bond, like I say, he became a lot more mature, so his mind really calmed down. He could really plan out things more.
Speaking of planning out, the whole Ocean's 11 bait and switch that we get at the end of this movie, I think is what really makes it worth it.
Yeah. Bond told Jasmine about this the entire time, and apparently when she was breastfeeding her baby, she got his teleportation powers.
He put his hand on her baby, and because she was holding the baby, she was able to read what his plan was. Yeah. Which I think was pretty cool.
That was great. Her teleporting everywhere was hilarious. It was just hey, I'm here to get you, and he's okay. All right, we're leaving, and I'm coming to get you guys, and we're going here now. That's her entire plan. Yep. And I loved it.
Because her baby can teleport.
Yeah, and because she breastfed the baby, apparently she got its powers, so now she can do that too. Esper. I'm so upset that happened though, because she told what was going to happen, and you hear the narrator break the fourth wall.
You hear the narrator go, don't I usually get to explain what happened?
And they just all look at her
and they're all like, what?
I love it.
That was pretty funny.
I love the final fight.
Great,
I love how the final fight doesn't end up taking place in a mech. That's a side thing.
Yeah, that's true.
And I also love the fact that Tekon became like the stand-in head while Doggy was in a coma. That apparently they were poisoning him the entire time, so he couldn't come out and tell the actual story.
I love how Senchan managed to do his headstand mid-fight. And no one bothered to shoot
fought with it, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was like him doing capoeira base the entire time. And I loved it. I love this movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
It's pretty good.
Like, I like it so much more than the Hurricaneer one. Like, yeah, the Hurricaneer one is good, but this one just feels like it's on a whole nother level. Especially, lack of kid.
True.
You know what? I think I'm going to say this one's better than the Hurricaneer one, too.
It's just fun. And this one feels like it's not so much, a nod, wink, wink at the, at the people like the Hurricaneer one was. Yeah. This one was just like, it's its own standalone story that ends up flowing.
I think that's one of the things that separates it the most. The Hurricaneer one, it's, let's look at these characters again. Look at how fun they are. Let's watch them dress up and be silly. This one actually is a story. The Hurricaneer one wasn't really that.
And, it ends up leading into Girls in Trouble and the Gavin movie, which we're going to be doing next week. And I feel like at the end of that one, we should do another character analysis. Just because they changed so much over time.
Sure, why not?
I feel like that would be fun. But yeah. Tell us what you think of these movies in the comments below.
As always, like, subscribe, comment, go become a patron.
Yes!
We have a Patreon.
Do it for me.
They're not going to get that joke.
They will get it soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.